Hello, my name is Donna Page, and let's learn about astrocartography and relocation astrology. The purpose of it is to find a place in which to live so you will have a better life. Bottom line, astrology is used for you not only to understand yourself better and to grow spiritually, but to know what to expect and how to work with energies. The purpose of it is that you incorporate that in your personal growth and can use it to be happier, to be more fulfilled, to reach your potential. And if you are born, your chart's what it is. Your karma is what it is, and that is seen in the natal chart. So as an example, here is a person who was born with the planet Saturn on the 7th house line of marriage and partnerships, and that represents that there can be difficulties in relationships, in partnerships. Maybe not in love life, because you can have an affair and a love, but being able to have a committed relationship that isn't always a struggle. When you have Saturn on that line, it can be difficult. That's the karma in the chart, and the lessons to learn how to be responsible in a relationship. All of that, yes. You can't give it up. You give up or erase the karma in the chart except through evolving and becoming enlightened, basically. And as you're on the path to self-awareness, you can do things such as move and basically get off that Saturn line. Now, how do you see that? This is called astrocartography. So as cartography's map, right? Astro's astrology. Here's the map of the world spread out flat. Where would the lines, like the shadow of the planets, be coming down when you were born? And you can see this through the different planetary lines. So the moon line, here's the moon line goes through here. Here's Venus over here, etc., etc. And this person is born with that Saturn very strong. Here's the Saturn line, right? Goes right down here. On what's called the descendant. So it was setting. The sun rises, the sun sets, right? So the planet Saturn was setting, and here's the setting point. Here's where the sun the rising sign, right? Ascending, sun ascending, rising sign. Here's the ascendant. The sun was setting. Whenever you have a planet on any of these angles, which is what this astrocartography map shows, that planet is extra powerful. And even though Saturn is in its rulership in Capricorn, and ultimately the fate of this individual is to have a strong relationship and partnership, it can create some heaviness in that path of finding that. So if you find that relationships, no matter what you do, they're just such work. Why am I always working on this relationship? Why is it so hard? There's probably some Saturn energy around relationships for you. One thing you can do is to move. And so when you move to another place, you may look for a different planet. So it's like, I'm tired of all this heavy responsibility in relationships. I want a little bit more fun. I want a little bit more freedom. I want someone interesting, not somebody who always has to play by the rules, which is Saturn. Then this person moving to Denver with Uranus on the descendant will get that. But Uranus has his own set of qualities because that represents unpredictability. So you may think you're moving it away from one, but all you find is a series of relationships that for fun, exploring, and it can be exactly what your spirit needs. But the thing with astrology is that this gives you the knowledge, the information to be able to embrace it, to choose it or not choose it. Now, here is another example. Someone who was born with Scorpio, with both the sun and moon in Scorpio, and a Scorpio ascendant rising sign in the 12th house. Well, the 12th house is a very spiritual house, but and Saturn and Scorpio on the ascendant, or on that line. Remember, the other one had the Saturn on the descendant, on the other people, relationships. This is on yourself. This is on you. It can bring that the nature of this person, one of the things their fate to overcome is overcoming depression, overcoming feeling this deep. It's a very spiritual placement, but it can be very painful. It's a feeling of deep longing for understanding, deep longing for something that is outside of what other people find joy in. Oh, I got a good job. There's more meaning. What's the meaning? What's the purpose? And also with this, the chart indication is that not only could be feeling depressed and feeling unhappy, could fall into an addictive pattern. So if somebody has this constant complaint, is like, why is everything so, why am I always so unhappy? Why do I always feel depressed? Why do I always feel that life has no purpose or has no meaning, and that no matter what I do, it's not good enough, or life is too hard? Then, yes, your fate is to overcome that, understand that, and there's different ways within this chart to do that, to embrace the Scorpio and to find something you're passionate about. But certainly moving out, it's not just being on your Saturn line here, on your ascendant, it's getting these planets out of the 12th house. So on the astrocartography map, you will be able to see that Saturn is on the ascendant. But you don't see that this necessarily that the sun and the moon are in the 12th house, and unless you really train your eye for it. But you see that through relocating the chart. And if you relocate to, say, I want to go to a place where I just feel more alive, you move to Santa Fe. And then you're moving your sun and moon into the first house. You're getting off of that 12th house. Yes, you still have Venus and Pluto there, which can attract a secret relationship, but with a Scorpio, that can be very seductive anyway. At least that energy is not so gloomy. It brings one out more. See, this is how. And also, here we go. What else is on the line here? We got Saturn off the ascendant, right? Saturn's a heavy planet. It's very serious. It can be gloomy. It has its good side, but it's so serious. And hard work, all of that stuff. And here we have Jupiter on the line. It's called the IC, the line of the 4th house, opposite the midheaven, the line of career, vibrating. So you're vibrating more on Jupiter, and this person of having belief and having faith, that uplifts that Scorpio gloom and seriousness that was shown in the natal chart. See how beautiful relocation can work when you're looking to move, looking to make your life better? One more example. Capricorn. Here's a Capricorn with 3 planets, 2 very important planets, the moon and the sun, and the 6th house of health and work, but it's sort of like drudgery work that's below your ability. You could do better, but you get stuck in these low-level jobs. But the house of health, complaining about health, I never feel good. And that can be the fate of this person, to deal with health issues. Not everybody on the planet is born with a healthy body. It's just how it is. There are, whether it's in the DNA, whatever, not everybody is fortunate enough to be born and to be healthy all their life until way into old age. And if so, then there can be some, you can't totally escape your fate. You might have to deal with it, but that can be part of dealing with it. Let me move to a place where I feel stronger, where I don't care where I need to move, I just want to feel good. And then you move the chart, you go back and forth. It's like, okay, here's the astro map. Where does the astro map locate that I can feel better? And sometimes it's a bit of a challenge, right? Sometimes you're looking for Jupiter or Venus, and if it's in the middle of the ocean, when I'm on a cruise crossing that line, right, it can be a bit of a challenge at times to find that. We do have Venus energy here, so you can take a look. Well, look, this is over way on the west coast. Let's take a look at Santa Barbara. And yes, Venus is up here. This looks like a better place. The sun is still in the 8th house. The 8th house is not always one of the best placements, but it gets the sun and the moon and Mercury out of that 6th house if someone has those issues. And then you can look at other places. Well, if I can move anywhere, what about Hawaii? And that in itself, putting the moon up in the 9th house, which is a very strong placement for it, and sun in the 10th house, that's very good for career. And Mercury up here, possibility of being able to be a teacher over in Hawaii on some capacity, whether it's in a corporation where you're training in others, or in a school situation setting, which is this, you always have to look at the nature of the person. That would show good. Still dealing with some issues because Saturn's in the 6th house now. But this would be a good choice if somebody was locked into, well, this is the country I was born in. How do I get visas other place? If things were totally open to you, you could say, hey, anywhere on the planet, just tell me where to go. That will be, not tell me, but suggest different places where I will feel good, where I will feel at home. And then you would look for, well, the moon in the 4th house, the sun in the 4th house on these lines. That would be indicating I would feel really good. And where is this? It's in Paris or somewhere along in France. So that's just an indication, a short indication of what and how relocation astrology can help you, and what it does, and how to use it. Thanks so much. If you'd like to learn more, check out my website, lovinglightastrologer.com.